Hello and welcome to the Can I Retire Now podcast with your hosts, Nick Russell and Becky Wagoner. I'm your podcast producer, RJ Malik. Nick and Becky, I see you both are ready for another great podcast. So Nick, why don't you start off and tell us what you and Becky will be discussing on this edition of the Can I Retire Now podcast?
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Becky.
We're here to record episode 30 of our podcast.
Episode 30. All right.
Speaking of 30s, today we're going to be talking about retirement planning through the decades, specific your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond.
Which you know none about because you're still in your 20s. I mean, look at you.
Clearly.
Fountain of youth over there.
And how we've alluded to this before in probably in broader strokes, but how retirement planning changes throughout the decades of your life and what are different priorities for each decade. So we're going to get into some specifics today.
I like it. Can I share with you just a tidbit before we jump in?
Yeah.
I just heard this the other day. Still, the average U.S. worker does not start saving what they said seriously for retirement until they're 40.
And from what I've learned, you should start sooner.
Yeah, sooner is better. Sooner is better. There are some real benefits to starting sooner. I literally just heard that a couple of days ago, and I knew the statistic was somewhere around there. It's kind of disappointing, and because it's so much harder when you start later. But where do you want to start? You want to start with the 30s? We'll go in order. Seems
We're going to
logical.
start with the 30s. If possible, though, start in your 20s.
Oh yeah, Look, when you get out of college,
with your first job, if you can.
This is the analogy. I lived through this. So my senior year of college, I delivered pizzas for Papa John's, right?
Yep.
I know, baller.
Yeah.
I think I made like
big
$5,000 that year. I mean,
that's big money.
I was hustling, right?
Yeah.
And I had to pay the rent, I had to pay my college expenses. I think I made $5,000. So I think about this because the very next year, and I don't remember the exact number, but I believe my first year working, I made $50,000.
That's more than me.
Yeah, I actually don't think it was that much, but it makes the math easier.
Yeah.
So it's 10 times as much. But the average person that goes from, say, whether it's high school into a career or college into a career or something.
There's a big jump at some point.
There's a big jump. And what always seems to happen is people still don't have any money or feel they don't have any money they can save. I go, how are you making 10 times the amount of money? And still, I don't care if you have a car payment now and you didn't before, or rent. You have rent now, maybe it's more. But you should be able to build those habits right off the bat.
That's so funny. I remember I did make 10 times. I remember I would make $4,000 every summer. I would work till I could save $4,000 for the whole school year of college.
And it lasted.
And then my first job paid $40,000. So
But somehow it's really tough for people
to save,
to budget. And so therefore retirement, of course, is like the last thing people are thinking of when they're 22, 23, 24, starting out in their careers, maybe dating, maybe getting married. So let's go.
So
let's leave the 20-year-olds alone.
Let's leave the 20-year-olds alone. And let's assume that by 30, you realize, I got a long gig. I got to plan ahead.
I got to start.
Okay. So retirement planning in your 30s, which is plenty of time still. Tell me about that. What are you supposed to do?
So I think if you have not built those habits yet from your 20s, now is the time. You hit 30, let it be a celebratorial. Yeah, that's a word, right?
Close.
Sure.
Close to a word.
It's close to it. Close enough to a word. I don't have to say you have to do it right on your birthday, but turn around and realize that you have to build those habits.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to put money in. Let's say you have a retirement plan at work. Maybe they provide a match. You need to be doing that. You need to be getting the free money that the company is providing you.
Yeah.
And you need to start putting that money away. Now, realistically, if I could tell everybody what to do, at 30, you should be saving 10% of your income for retirement. Period.
Wow.
Now, whether that's 401k, Roth IRA, all the things we've talked about.
So many options.
But 10%. So that year you came out and you were making $40,000.
Yes.
I know it's the gross number, so there's taxes and all that stuff, but 4,000 of that should have been going away into your retirement plan.
Per year.
Per year. And then as you make more money, it's a percentage, so it should tick up as you make more and more money. And obviously in your 30s, you have other things you're thinking about. But let me give you you know me, I'm a math guy. Let me give you a simple, For those not watching on video,
there's so much math.
There's so much eye rolling happening.
Okay,
Right?
but anyway, all right. Hit me with the math.
So here's an easy example. Let's say you could qualify for a Roth IRA.
Okay.
You put $300 a month away.
Okay.
So that's $3,600 a year. That's less than your 10%.
Yeah.
$300 a month away, starting at 30. If you just earn what the market earns over time.
You don't increase your contributions.
You don't increase your contributions. Okay. You don't outperform the market. You literally
just ride the $300 a month into the sunset.
And buy an index mutual fund.
Yeah.
You know, don't work with an advisor. I mean, you just do it the simplest way possible.
What are we talking?
At 65, it's $1 million.
I mean, that's not pennies. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. For $300 a month.
Yeah.
It's $1 million. By the way, tax-free. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, $1 million 30 years from now will not buy what $1 million buys today, which is why that can't be everything you save. But we talked about 10%.
But it could be the minimum.
But there you go. But if you're making $36,000 a year, there's your 10%. If you're making $75,000 a year, $100,000 a year, realize that is not 10%. But starting off, to me,
all right,
it really pays off because of all the extra time.
So 300 at 30.
300 at 30 does get you to $1 million.
All right, I like it.
Now, we always talk about retirement here because obviously we're trying to help people get there.
Yeah.
But there is the boring and vanilla cash reserve that's important as well. And
I love a good cash reserve.
I know you love a good cash reserve. Love seeing your money.
Need it where I can touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just as important as it is to save for retirement, if you haven't at this point in your life, by the time you're 30, built up 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses in a cash reserve, I understand that checking accounts and savings accounts nowadays pay bupkis. There are some mutual funds, money market mutual funds or money market funds that'll pay a little something. The idea of this money is not to make you money.
Yeah.
The idea of this money is to be there for when you have a great opportunity or to
keep you safe. A car breaks down. There's always going to be something.
There's always going to be something.
Heaven forbid you lose your job. You don't have to lose your house.
Correct.
Your housing situation. Yeah.
And you don't have to go and touch your investments. So people think, oh, well, before I lose my house, I'm going to touch my investments. And that's obviously very reasonable.
Because that's a risky, well, not risky, but it's not a good habit to start in your 30s.
It's a terrible habit.
To start borrowing from retirement.
You should never, you know how when you say people that go to the casino and they gamble, you should never gamble money you
can't afford to lose. Yeah.
You should not put money in your retirement account that you can't afford to leave there for the 30 or 35 years. And I think if you think about it that way, you put the 10% away, you forget you're doing it, and you have to leave it there. So you have to build up enough reserves for your lifestyle. So let's say you're a sole income, commission only person, you may need more cash reserves than a married couple who have
dual
income salary.
Yeah.
But you need to have those reserves.
Okay.
That'll give you the foundation so you can save that money for retirement.
3 to 6 months of expenses.
Yeah.
$300 a month.
And $300 a month for your Roth.
Okay.
You $1 million.
So that's what we're doing in our 30s.
30s.
Minimum.
Hey, I remember my 30s. Do you remember your 30s?
Yes. It's when I met Nick.
Oh my God. That's what you think about for your 30s. That's so sweet. My 40s. So now we're in our 40s.
Yes.
This is us.
It's us.
So are we doing these things? What are we doing?
All right.
So a couple of notes I jotted down.
Yeah.
So when you hit your 40s, and for some people, this also overlaps in your 30s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, these are soft edges.
Yeah. You have competing priorities.
Yeah. I would say the jump from probably 35 to 45 for most people is when life changes a lot, right? But if you're going to start a family, typically that's the window in which you have a family, start a family. You probably are able to purchase a home at that point. And also you realize retirement's a real thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of overlapping things that are on your mind that all require money to do.
By the way, you know that $300 a month example?
Yeah.
If you start when you're 40,
it's
not $1 million. Do you know how much it is at 65?
600,000.
400,000.
What? Less than half?
Less than half. Yeah. You don't even stand a chance.
Man, compounding money.
The amount of time you keep that money invested.
Time value of money.
Your professors from college would be so excited to hear you say that.
Okay.
So what are these competing things? So obviously we're still saving for retirement, but you rattle off a few. Mortgage or mortgages, children, whether you're done having them, you're having them.
Putting them in college.
I mean, they're expensive. Kids are pricey. So whether it's college savings, just normal kid expenses. So this is where you need to find cash in your cash flow. So have your cash reserves.
All right.
Again, you need that base, but now you may need more reserves because of these other responsibilities you have, because you have more needs in a given month. But again, you can't ignore that back burner of retirement. You need to keep plugging away money in there. Now, by your 40s, you're probably making more money than you were in your 30s.
Yes.
So again, 10% is 10%. If you were making 40,000 10 years ago, and now you're making 100, first of all, good for you. Congratulations.
That did not happen for me, but continue.
But then you should be saving 10,000 a year, 10%, for retirement. And at some point, if you make enough income, that's not necessarily going to be in your 401k at work. Then you might have to go work with an outside person and an advisor and put your money somewhere else.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But something we talk about a lot and comes in is insurance. I just had a client, I just got off the phone with him, was asking me about insurance. I know you deal with the insurance that we get mailed to the house. We get all these updates with property insurance, and then we have life insurance, and I have disability insurance and
health insurance.
But health insurance is changing all the time. These are important, but it's just as important to review your insurances as it is your investments, because so many changes happen.
So cumbersome, though.
Well, this is why you hire somebody, right? You hire an advisor because, like, a client comes to me and goes, "Hey, well, first of all, I usually go to a client and go, you need life insurance or you need disability insurance. This is how much you need. This is the cheapest policy that's available. Get it.
Yeah.
Like simple. Like I make it like simple for them. But I just had a client ask me, said, yeah, somebody else I know was talking to me about this. Remember we did the questions I get asked all the time? I just got asked about investment grade life insurance again, literally before we were recording this.
It must be on the TikToks.
Yeah. And I love this client. And it would have been great for him 20 years ago, but it's just so not appropriate to him. And someone was recommending he get it. And I'm glad he asked me.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't want him to waste his money.
Okay. So what kind of insurance are we talking?
So this is reviewing your car, your auto and home insurance, believe it or not.
Basics.
But also your life insurance needs are probably extremely different now.
I see.
Because when you were 20 and maybe not married, 30, maybe married with kids, 40, now you have debt, you have kids, you have a spouse potentially, you have things that
complications.
That's a nice way of putting it. I don't think of you and our daughter as a complication necessarily.
No, just layered obligations.
Well, your life becomes more complex.
Yes.
So, when you're looking at the whole picture from a 30,000 foot view, insurance is there to protect that when something goes wrong, because something will go wrong. God forbid I get sick. God forbid I die. Prematurely.
Yeah.
You need my life insurance to help pay to still provide you and our daughter a lifestyle that we're all hoping we have together.
Yes.
But God forbid that happens. That could completely derail your life if I don't prepare us for that.
So 40s is really about updating the amount you're saving and updating your protections at that point. Okay.
I call it like the refinement period.
Refinement.
This is like if you've been doing well in your 20s and 30s, maybe didn't hire an advisor, but you were doing all the right things. By the time you hit 40,
now we should get serious
you should
about
at least do a check-in and say, okay, let me ask a professional, am I doing the right things? Am I doing everything I need to? And at least get a refresh.
Yeah.
So that by the time you hit your 50s, you're now not trying to do a refresh.
Yeah, it doesn't become a scramble.
This is, and don't feel bad, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're in your 50s and you feel like you're behind, you're not alone in that feeling.
You're still ahead if you're thinking about it.
You know what? That's really nice, Becky. You're absolutely right. If someone is cognizant enough to be thinking about it, you're still, not that you should always just try to be better than the worst person in the room, but you're doing better, right, than that other person. So 50s. So a couple things happen when you turn 50. One, you're probably now in your highest income earning years.
All right.
So now you're making more money. Congratulations.
Big monies.
means you should be saving more money for retirement. Again, a percentage, your same 10% is now a larger percentage.
Good for you. Okay.
But you also are allowed to do catch-up contributions,
which we talked about in the condiments.
In the condiments episode.
Time travel. Yeah. Okay.
But most retirement plans allow people once they're 50 to contribute more money. So let's say you're one of those lucky few. You're already saving the maximum amount of money in your 401k or IRA. Well, now you can put in a little extra because you can do a catch-up because you're 50.
To make up for, okay.
Yeah, and they call it a catch-up because they assume people are behind. So now you can put more money in.
Awesome.
To catch up.
All right.
And then just like in your 40s, how you're kind of getting a reset, in your 50s, you really have to start thinking about your 60s and 70s. And the stuff that happens in your 60s and 70s that are friction, we'll call it, for your financial plan, it usually surrounds healthcare. Right?
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah. So people that need long-term care or get sick later in life or have an injury or something that forces them maybe for an early retirement or, health issues that all of a sudden you go, I was going to work till I was 65, but now I'm 60 and I don't think I could do it in another 5 years.
You're tired now.
You're tired now, right? and it's fine, but it's not because you're snipping the last 5 years off of all of your savings and growth of your assets and adding 5 more years
of dependency on those assets.
So it is a 10-year investment difference, right? It's 5 going in and 5 coming out. It's 10 years against you. Now,
okay.
You may have
if you need to retire early.
If you need to retire
health
early.
Problems. Okay.
So this is really where you need to stress test your financial plan.
Stress test.
Yeah. So I do this in every financial plan that I do for clients.
It involve a treadmill and heart monitors, like a...
No, we just give them the little squeezy thing where the eyeballs and the ears pop out. And just make sure they can do it.
Okay.
So what we do when we do a financial projection for somebody is we do kind of the whole humdrum linear projection. We do a Monte Carlo. So we're running all
Monte Carlo? What?
Oh, yeah. We've never... Man, we should do an episode on financial planning. Let's do that. But we do all that. Okay, so we come up with these numbers and say you have a likelihood of success, right, of 90%. That's great. 90%.
Okay, so you look at when you say stress test, you're looking at the amount they have saved, and the projected earnings, and the likelihood that they will be able to retire at the age they want to with the money that they want every month.
Correct. And inflated every year to keep up with cost of goods rising.
Okay. Yeah. So it really is. So you can take a snapshot, run it through the Monte Carlo machine, whatever that is.
Yeah, we got a Monte Carlo machine in the back.
And say you are 90% chance that this is all going to work out the way that you think it will and want it to.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens if you run it through the stress test and you're like, womp, womp.
So that's kind of the
52%.
Then everybody, I run a stress test on those same numbers. So what I do is I assume the first 2 years that they're retired, the markets are negative and totally down 25%.
Oh, so you go all like worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario.
I mean,
best case, worst case. That's what people want to know.
Happen.
I mean, best case. Yeah, you have enough money. Best case, you have more money than you expected and you get to live a better lifestyle.
Or winning the lottery. I mean, yeah, okay.
By the way, I bought Powerball tickets.
Okay.
So, we chipped in here in the office. So in case, I come over with a wad of cash or a big check, that's what happened.
All right.
So we look at that because you never know what the future holds. So we talked about like worrying about disability, life insurance, nursing home care, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But what if you just happen to retire
in a down streak?
January of 2020, and then COVID hits.
Or 2008.
2008, and the financial crisis happened.
These things happen.
These things absolutely happen. And I had clients retire in 2007. I had clients retire in 2020 and 2019.
Okay.
And so ahead of that, we're stress testing their portfolio to make sure that they're just not going to trip and fall across the finish line.
Yeah, you work so hard and then not
something out of our control. There's a world war, and all of a sudden the markets are down 25%, and your portfolio isn't resilient enough to make it through that.
So by running the stress test in your 50s, if you're not retiring until 65 or 67, in theory, it gives you a decade to adjust.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people that maybe go on an online calculator or something and they figure out, I need to save, pick a number, $500 a month. they just keep doing that. And then they don't realize by the time they're 65, they go, great, I want to retire now. But you like barely have enough, barely, or you don't have enough.
Yeah.
Why find that out at 65? Find that out at 50. You have 15 years.
Yeah. Or even 55. Yeah.
55, 10 years. If you're in that last 10 years, that's that final runway. You have room where you can fix it. You can fix the problem. Okay. If you wait too long, then you know, whether it's and people do that because they're fearful, because they're embarrassed.
Yeah, you don't want to see it, right? Yeah. Like if I avoid it, it's not happening.
But you know what? It's like anything else. If I want to accomplish something, I have to be able to test myself to make sure I'm on track. And if I'm not on track, tell me as soon as possible.
Play a scrimmage game. Let's test this out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right. I mean, everybody does it. You could sports analogy, you could life analogy it. But when you're 50, you have to at least look. You don't have to hire a financial advisor for the rest of your life if you don't want to. Hire someone to do a financial analysis for you. Pay them one time. Make sure you're okay. And if you're not, now you have somebody maybe you trust you can get advice from.
That's really good advice.
Yeah. So it definitely, the things evolve, obviously, as you imagine, throughout the years.
All right. So that was really good. So 30s, we're setting up habits.
Yep.
At least aim for at least 10, I mean, always 10% of your salary, but 30s, we're setting up good habits. 40s, what are we doing in our 40s? What are we doing in our 40s? Yeah. Oh, we're protecting our income.
We're in our 40s now.
We're checking the path. Golly, I should have had more coffee. So, we're protecting our income, checking the insurance, making sure we're kind of set up. And then in our 50s, we're doing stress tests on it. And we're running scenarios to make sure we're on the right track and making any tweaks and adjustments, because that's really the last chance, not the last, but it's the ideal last chance to do that. Yeah. Okay.
You have enough time to make a correction.
So by 65, 67, you are clear to go. Green flag. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So I have some information for you, some did you knows.
Oh, I love the did you knows.
Retirement saving through the decades.
Okay.
So obviously you're saying 10%, and that's great. I think that's a really good baseline. That's an easy thing to remember. So I have some figures that tell you how much you should have saved, how much should be in the account, not how much you should be saving every month, but what the total figure maybe should look like.
Oh, like, do I have enough for where I'm at in life?
Yes.
Okay.
So savings by age 30 should be the equivalent of your annual salary.
Ooh. Okay. So if I'm making $50,000 a year,
yeah,
I should have $50,000 in my retirement account
by age 30.
Okay. Which is hard to do if you don't start till you're 30 or 40.
Yeah.
But if you start when you're 22, 23, and you just save that little bit,
yes,
that's a very achievable thing.
Okay.
Okay.
By age 40, you should have 3 times your income saved.
Okay. All right. I like that.
By age 50, it is 6 times your income.
Okay.
By age 60, it is 8 times your income.
Okay.
And by age 67, which is retirement age, 10 times your income.
10 times your income.
So,
I feel like that. I'm looking at these numbers for the first time, but I feel like that's really a good rough estimate. I think about clients of mine that are recently retired, what they have in their accounts versus what they were making in the last 5 years of working. That's actually really good. So
this is according to Fidelity Investments, by the way. This was where I got the information. So 30 is 1 time your income. 40 is 3 times. 50 is 6 times your income. Age 60 is 8 times your income. And then by 67 is 10 times your income. So it doesn't move in any linear pattern there, but it is, it's a good rule of thumb. You can look it up if anyone's wondering. So how much you should have saved at each age, according to Fidelity Investments.
I like that. I feel like that's another one of those kind of easy check-in. Okay, am I ahead? Am I behind?
Yes.
Again, you never want to compare yourself to the worst, but if on average, this is where you should be.
It can tell you whether or not to crank it up or keep it steady or whatever you need to do.
Yeah. And we didn't talk about this, but if listening to this, you feel you're a little behind.
Yeah.
You don't have to just, it's not a light switch. You don't have to
Yeah.
You can like turn the knob a little. So maybe you're saving 6% in your 401k. We'll change it to 7.
And then in 2 years, change it to 8.
And change it to 8.
Yeah.
I mean, there's actually a lot of them. Fidelity's one that I know. I think they have it on there where you can automatically on the anniversary or the beginning of the year, it'll increase it by 1%.
Automation is the key to retirement, I think. Savings. Don't think about it.
It does make it a lot easier not thinking about it and just letting it happen.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure you're at least getting started. So
right.
That was fun. So we got savings by the year, strategies by the year.
Strategies by the decade.
By the decade. And yeah. So awesome. So 30s, 40s, 50s, we know what we're doing. We know how much we should have. Feel pretty good about that.
Set up for success.
Beautiful. All right. So if anybody listening to this has any questions, feel free to reach out to us on the website, sunrisewealthadvisors.com. We're also, I don't know if Becky even knows this, I've been working on a couple of white papers and a few things that I'll be sharing via social media and the website.
This is brand new information, but I am excited.
Yeah, I was just asked to do some consulting for a paper that's writing up some reports and stuff on advisors. So should have some interesting stuff coming, but check out the website, check us out on social media. Feel free to drop us a line. Happy to email any of this stuff out to you. So thank you very much for your time. For my wonderful, still in her 20s wife, or at least she looks this way, and me, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, Nick and Becky. Looking forward to your next podcast, and thank you for listening to today's Can I Retire Now podcast. Until next time, for Nick and Becky, I'm RJ Malik.
Thank you for listening to the Can I Retire Now podcast. Click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Visit our website at www.sunrisewealthadvisors.com or give us a call at 407-351-3476. And don't forget to click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Can I Retire Now? The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning. The views depicted in this material are for informational purposes only and not necessarily those of Cetera Advisors. They should not be considered specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Neither Cetera Advisors nor any of its representatives may give legal or tax advice. Securities and advisory services offered through Cetera Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer and registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity. 6052 Turkey Lake Road, Suite 101, Orlando, Florida, 32819.